I don't know how much context we need, because it's like, if you're watching this and you know me personally, internet wise, you know that I make sex ed content, and like, I don't want to beat that dead horse. But at the same time, if you happen to be watching this and you don't know who I am, I have been a sex journalist, content creator, and public speaker since I was 19. I'm now 25. I really hope that if you are in the market for a vibrator, you don't know anything about sex toys or sexual wellness products, sexual wellness as an industry, that this is like remotely helpful. I will say context for what's in here. First of all, let's address the elephant in the room, okay? I keep my vibrators, all my sex toys, my babies, in a pink file cabinet. I started collecting sex toys 6 years ago, and I have moved probably upwards of 4 times since then. I have changed what I kept my sex toys in a million times over, and none of them felt right. I found this bad boy on Facebook Marketplace. It was very cheap, but I did have to like single-handedly get her into my house by myself. No upper body strength, but when you want a pink file cabinet for your dildos, you're going to do what you have to do. So I get sent sex toys probably, I would say like once or twice a month, depending on how much freelance work I'm doing, which is to say these aren't going to be the best toys. I have easily given away upwards of 15, 20 vibrators to my friends, acquaintances, my ex-girlfriends. You get a vibe, you get a vibe, you get a vibe. A lot of the ones in here are going to be my first, like ones that I got first and kept simply because I had already used them. A lot of my favorites, yes. And then I think the criteria for me in wanting to keep a vibrator, when I get more vibrators than I could ever need, than is ever going to be useful or needed, I will keep toys that like pique my interest. So if I think that you're doing something really cool, new, innovative in terms of sex toys, or if it's just something that I can see myself using for real, and I'm like, yeah, I think I would like that. Let's hop in and I'll give the context and you'll get a feel. I'll start with some of my favorites so that this is useful and not just me yapping. Let me make something else abundantly clear. Okay, we are not giving clean girl aesthetic on this channel or in my real life at all. In fact, I'm the dirtiest bitch you've ever met. But yeah, there's no way that I wash my sex toys enough. Let's be so fucking for real. Let's be so fucking for real. There's no way that I wash my sex toys as much as I want to and should. You'll see that I even have like fucking sex toy specific soaps in this bitch, unopened. The wrapping is still on. The wrapping is still on. Unopened. The wrapping is still on. I don't even think that's the only one. Tara, what's your favorite sex toy of all time? What's your favorite vibrator? If you could only recommend one vibrator, which one would you recommend? It would be this. My nickname for this toy is All Reliable. This is an original Satisfyer 1. So let's do some sex toy history really quick. I'm so sorry to do this. So we've all heard of the Rose toy, right? Well, the reason that we've all heard of the Rose toy is that air stimulation toys, these can also be called clit suckers, air pulsation toys. There's lots of different like terminology we throw out. These are toys that use either pushes or pulses of air, or I guess pulse would be, so pushing out or pulling in air to create a sensation on your clitoris. These are a somewhat new type of toy. Like I'm talking within the last like 5-10 years. The Rose toy was not new, not innovative, not inventive. The Rose toy is simply a very cheap and accessible version of something that brands like Satisfyer and like Womanizer came up with years prior. So this is a Satisfyer 1. They've come out with new models since then. This is like old as fuck. I think I got this gift. Nobody cares. The reason that I like it, in terms of clitoral suction air stim toys, it's very gentle, very gentle. And I think that's why a lot of people don't like vibrators, is that rumble, that intensity, especially when you're starting out, like not starting out using vibrators generally, but like starting out and you know it's that time, but you're just getting started, starting out in your routine, you don't necessarily want to go in with that hammer, you know? So anyway, it's very soft, gentle. If I keep talking about this, we're not going to get through. I'll do all my clit stim toys. Guys, this is actually ridiculous. These are also toys that use air. We've got a few wands, and I'll briefly share that the reason that I love wand toys, these are very intense and very rumbly, so you might think, it sounds like the opposite of what I was just explaining that I like in a toy. And wow, once I tell you what I actually like in this, you're gonna realize how fucking lazy I am. I like that you don't have to hold them. Like, you can put it down between your legs, clamp your legs together, and then kind of hands-free. The accessibility, you know? If you're like me, you don't necessarily love intense rumbly sensations. This is an intense rumbly toy. What you can do with this is something called layering. Keep your underwear or your pants on and then use this. And hump it. That's something called broadening. These have a really wide head for wide, broad stimulation, which a lot of people prefer. If you're a girly who used to hump your pillow, this might appeal to you. Over the pants, hump it, hands-free. That's my recommendation. These are some of my most used. These are all ones that I got and kept because I thought they were really interesting and really like inventive. I don't know if any of them are charged because I don't really use any of these a ton. Actually, I do use this one a ton. Totally for similar reasons. I would say, like, if you like soft sensations, nothing too intense. I love like the moving fingers. This is so cute. This one does something super similar, but like with one end where it just kind of, it's definitely not charged. This sits on between your labias, go here. Your labia minora over here sits on the clitoris, is supposed to stay on during sex. It doesn't. G-spot toy, but instead of like vibrating, it just pushes up against the G-spot. This is the only G-spot toy I really like. Oh, I do have a rose. Ooh, oh my god. Again, a lot of these I kept just because they were my earliest toys. I wouldn't necessarily recommend them, nor do I have interesting stories to tell about them. These I kept all of because I used to work at this company as like a contracted content creator. I worked for them for about, I think, over a year. I don't think I actually used any of these three. I more so kept them for content, but I did use, and I do still use, these two. Pretty much self-explanatory and pretty much the same idea as one another, but this one I will shout out because I use it more than I use other toys, simply because it is easier to charge. So I feel like I charge all of my sex toys at one time, so then they all run out of battery kind of around the same time. And then I'll just have like a big charge day where I just find every outlet in the house and charge them all on the same day. Like probably like once a year, honestly. This one you can charge anytime. You just, hello. I always said that if I created a sex toy, it would have one of these. That's everything to me. Same company that made those, sister company, sibling company, was a butt plug company. These are the only two butt plugs I've ever used. Super intimidated by butt plugs. And I think if you're anything like me, starting with these teeny tiny ones, great place to begin. Let me show you how big they get. Same company, same design and everything. I think this might be the biggest one. Either that or, oh yeah, I think it's this one. I never used these because they're terrifying. Glow in the dark butt plug. I didn't even know I had this. Stainless steel gem butt plug. Are you kidding? That's cunt. Oh, fuck. Okay. Oh my god. I'm out of breath. Why? Okay. Similarly, I would categorize this as a toy that I kept because I thought it was really cool and unique. And I thought it was something that like I could enjoy. It's meant to emulate a tongue. Can be a little harsh on the clitoris. I would recommend using this once you've already got going. Oh, why wouldn't I turn that up? The last like actual silicone product I think I'd want to share from the top shelf. Not a toy. These are dilators. I wouldn't necessarily use them myself. These are advertised for people with something called dyspareunia, which means painful sex. A cause of dyspareunia can be vaginismus. That's probably the one that people have heard of most often, be it through sex education or, I don't know, it's pretty common. So there's a solid chance that you know somebody with vaginismus. A lot of vaginismus tends to be rooted in anxiety. Anyways, if you are experiencing painful sex, go to a pelvic floor therapist. Do not just get on the internet and buy dilators. Listen to whatever your practitioner has to say, okay? I am not your doctor. And I know that there are certain scenarios where using dilators can actually make things a lot worse. But if you're in a scenario where dilators can make things better, I don't know. I just feel like these are cool for me to have to like show people what dilators look like because I am an educator first and foremost. Okay, bottom drawer. These are all my liquid products, so lubes, candles, soaps, and all my games, okay? Card games, lots of card games, lots of card games. There's actually way more than that, okay? More games, more card games, condoms. I give out most of the condoms that I get, and that's my business and not yours, okay? The only reason I would keep condoms is like if there's something interesting there that I want to try. I really thought it was cute that this company sent like every type of condom that you could think of, like flavored, thin, any and everything, like in just one pack. I think that is so cute. I know I have a couple different sets of dice, a couple different sets of handcuffs, blindfolds, nipple clamps, not quite condoms. These are laurels. Like if you made a dental dam into underwear. And what I will say, I love lube. I think a lot more young people should use lube. I think if you are enjoying some self-pleasure time, grab some lube. It will make it better. That being said, I think that as somebody who works in this industry, lube is an oversaturated market. I think if you want to start a sexual wellness company, the easiest thing you could do in terms of physically making a product is to make lube. For every vibrator brand, there are like 15 lube brands. And after a while, you're just like, I have every type of lube. I have all the lube I could use in one lifetime. I'm good. Let's get into it. I don't know why I have two of these. And I don't think this one's open. So maybe I'll give it away. So I think this spilled. Oh. Oh my God, guys, that's so good. It's strawberry flavored. Oh, I used to use this one a ton. I don't know why. Some of these are so old, like these companies don't even exist anymore. This is a toy cleaner. I told you I had more. So many toy cleaners, and they've never been opened, never been used because I'm disgusting. Wait, this one is cherry vanilla. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, hell no. For all the vibrators that I've given away, I've tried to pass off probably twice the number of lubes. None of the people want lube. Everybody thinks lube is so pointless. All these freaking Gen Zers, nobody wants to fucking use lube anymore. My legs dripping in lube. There's definitely a lube spillage in here. I'm trying to pick up these bottles. They're falling. Some lubes that I think would even appeal to Gen Zers who think that their pussy's so wet they don't need fucking lube. My fault. Anyways, ones that actually like change the way that your clitoris feels. They can be warming, they can be cooling. This is fireworks. This is from Wisp. I forget what it's called. It's got like a tea tree oil type of feeling. This is warming. Yeah, I don't know. You guys should get into that tea. Clock in. It's not clocking to y'all. It's not clocking to y'all that when I tell you that lube was so oversaturated as an industry, a brand sent me a lube dispenser. I don't think I literally ever used this because the time that it would take to set this up, like when am I ever like, it's too hard to like crack open the lube. Okay. Like I can literally just squirt it out. When am I ever, but okay, sure. Sure. All the lubes that I just pulled out of there too, there's still like a lot of lubes left. Like I'm not playing with y'all. I have too much fucking lube. I need you guys to know that the bottom shelf is literally dripping in lube and my legs are too. I think that's all for me today. I don't know if this was useful or interesting or just me fucking flexing on you hoes. I don't know. I'm like out of ideas. I'm out of content ideas. I made like 3 videos. If you have sex questions, let me make them into video ideas and profit from them. Hello, win-win. Loving you. Loving you. What is this called when, I don't know. They're doing it in the other countries and stuff and the younger the younger Gen Alpha. I'll give you the Gen Z. I